Iran is once again at the center of global attention as widespread protests erupt across the country, driven by deep economic pressure, political frustration, and long-standing public grievances. Streets that once appeared controlled are now filled with angry voices demanding change, reflecting a society pushed to its limits. These demonstrations are not isolated or spontaneous. They are the result of years of sanctions, rising living costs, limited freedoms, and a sense among many citizens that their future is slipping away. The intensity of the protests has created a powerful image for the outside world, showing a nation struggling internally while standing at the crossroads of regional tension. From an external perspective, the situation appears volatile and unpredictable. Images circulating globally show crowded streets, security forces deployed in large numbers, and an atmosphere charged with emotion. This outward appearance has triggered concern far beyond Iran's borders, particularly in Israel, where any major instability inside Iran is viewed through a national security lens. Israeli leadership and defense institutions are closely monitoring developments, understanding that internal unrest in Iran could increase the likelihood of sudden external actions designed to shift attention or reassert strength. Within Iran, the internal dynamics are far more complex than what is visible on the surface. Protesters come from different social and economic backgrounds, united by frustration, overinflation, unemployment, and political constraints. Many see the protests as a rare opportunity to express collective anger, despite the risks involved. The government, meanwhile, faces a difficult balancing act between restoring order and avoiding actions that could further inflame public sentiment. This internal pressure cooker creates an environment where decision-making becomes more reactive, increasing uncertainty for both citizens and neighboring countries. Inside Israel, the atmosphere is defined by vigilance rather than panic. Military and intelligence officials assess not only Iran's internal situation, but also the actions of allied groups across the region. The concern is not necessarily a direct and immediate strike, but the possibility of a surprise escalation through unconventional means. Israel's high alert status reflects a strategic approach focused on readiness, deterrence, and rapid response, ensuring that any sudden move can be countered without delay. The operational effectiveness of both sides is being tested under intense pressure. Iranian authorities are acting quickly to contain demonstrations through crowd control, arrests, and communication restrictions. These measures aim to limit momentum, yet they also risk deepening public resentment. Israel's performance, by contrast, is centered on preparedness rather than visible action. Defense systems are monitored constantly, intelligence flows are intensified, and coordination with international partners is reinforced. The real measure of performance lies in preventing escalation while maintaining credibility and deterrence. Security considerations dominate every aspect of this unfolding crisis. Israel's layered defense systems, early warning capabilities, and intelligence networks are designed to provide protection against a range of threats, from missile attacks to cyber operations. Civil defense protocols are reviewed to ensure civilian safety in the event of an emergency. In Iran, however, the concept of safety feels more fragile for ordinary people, as protests often lead to clashes, uncertainty, and fear of sudden crackdowns. This imbalance highlights the human cost of political instability. What sets this situation apart is the intersection of internal unrest and external risk. Protests within Iran are not occurring in isolation. They ripple outward, affecting regional calculations and global markets. The possibility that internal pressure could push leadership or allied actors toward a surprise action adds a layer of unpredictability that alarms policymakers. This combination of domestic upheaval and international tension makes the current moment especially dangerous, as misinterpretation or miscalculation could have far-reaching consequences. The economic cost of this crisis continues to rise. Iran's economy, already strained by sanctions and mismanagement, suffers further as instability disrupts trade and investor confidence. For ordinary citizens, The price is paid through reduced purchasing power, job insecurity, and limited access to opportunities. Regionally, uncertainty impacts energy markets and global supply chains, reminding the world that instability in one country can influence economies far beyond its borders. As events unfold, diplomatic efforts quietly intensify behind the scenes. International actors urge restraint, aware that escalation would benefit no one. Communication channels, both formal and informal, play a critical role in preventing misunderstandings. Yet diplomacy faces limits when trust is low and tensions are high. The challenge lies in de-escalating rhetoric while addressing the underlying causes of unrest that cannot be resolved through force alone. Public perception plays a powerful role in shaping outcomes. For protesters, global attention can feel like validation, offering hope that their voices are being heard. For governments, that same attention adds pressure to manage narratives and maintain authority. Media coverage amplifies every development, sometimes heightening fear and speculation. In this environment, responsible communication becomes essential to prevent panic and misinformation from driving decisions. The coming period will test leadership on all sides. Choices made under pressure can either calm the situation or push it toward confrontation. History shows that moments of internal unrest often serve as turning points, revealing both vulnerabilities and opportunities. Whether this chapter leads to reform, repression, or regional escalation remains uncertain, but its significance is undeniable. Ultimately, this crisis is about more than protests or military alerts. It reflects deeper questions about governance, stability, and the balance between power and public will. For Iran, it is a moment of reckoning shaped by years of accumulated frustration. For Israel, it is a reminder that regional security is tightly connected to internal dynamics beyond its borders. For the world, it is a warning that unresolved tensions can resurface suddenly, demanding attention and careful handling. As the situation continues to evolve, the global community watches closely, aware that restraint, dialogue, and thoughtful decision-making are the only paths capable of preventing wider conflict. The stakes are high, and the consequences of failure would extend far beyond the region. In a world already marked by uncertainty, this moment underscores the fragile balance between internal unrest and international peace.